Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. It's been another amazing week. It seems every week is now. Now, the other day we celebrated Lag BaOmer, which means the 33rd day of counting the Omer, which goes on for 49 days. Now, it's a minor holiday that unless you're Orthodox, you probably missed it completely. But aside from that, it was also Brett's birthday, and it's Cinco de Mayo Day, which means 5th of May, so I guess you kind of know when that one is. Well, believe it or not, many have mistaken Cinco de Mayo for Mexican Independence Day. It's not. That actually happens to come out on September 16th, but that doesn't roll off the tongue the same way. Now, Cinco de Mayo, that sounds much better. It was an unlikely Mexican victory over the French Empire in 1862 and is actually a much bigger deal in North America than it is in Mexico, although I know technically Mexico is part of North America. But, but neither can hold a candle to the 2-day Day of the Dead festival, which is a Halloween on steroids and is about the strangest festival I've ever found myself in the middle of. It's like at the beginning of Spectre, only creepier. And of course, coming up next week is Mother's Day, one of those 2 days when family DNA takes priority in people's lives. I see all the commercials now for like 23andMe. Now, we heard about blood and its importance last week, and we still see it as something special, something different. It is a special unifying bond unlike any other. So happy Mother's Day for all you mothers out there, and we'll celebrate next week. But none of these are as big a deal as Brett's birthday. I bet it was awesome, and this is my annual apology for not being there to celebrate with you. One day. Let's hope it's soon. Now, but there is something else that we can finally celebrate all together as a group. There is a great event that's taking place this month. It's a historic event. The United States is opening its embassy in Jerusalem, finally recognizing a 3,000-year-old fact that Jerusalem is now and has been the continuous capital of Israel since King David established it as such. How awesome! And it is not the only embassy that's been announced. It's joined by such stalwart allies as Guatemala, Honduras, and Togo. So what happened to France, Canada, and England? You know what? Now, as always, we stand alone. We stand for each other, the shining star of our values and beliefs. So let's stand together now as we welcome others, everybody you know, to celebrate as a like-minded group in a showing of faith, of love, as a community, a chavura, fellowship. When we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes, that unites us all, my friends. In this community, House of Spirits, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, socially, emotionally, spiritually, any way you want, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together right now. Hine Matov, Yachad, Hine Matov, Yachad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. So as a community, let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world as we generate a spiritual connection that unites all of us together as a whole. Let's send that special healing and renewal energy out to everybody we know. So think whoever you know that needs healing and renewal, whoever comes to mind. Bob, Aubrey, Ben, Melissa. And of course, make sure you include yourself. You need renewal too, and you can't be ashamed to put yourself in there. And let's send some extra energy out for Christine and her family on the loss of her father, Joseph Papura. To Sarah on the loss of her father, Stephen Schultz, and to Lindsay, whose father, Jim Beatty, left us the other night. I'm sure they are at rest in the Garden of Eden, where the Master of Mercy will care for them under the protection of his wings for all time, and where their souls will be bound up in the bond of eternal life. Baruch Dayan Ha'amet. Friends, it is the kindness, healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out that circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit never dies, and it is better because of the energy you put out to help heal others. Me. Elokeinu, Makor HaBracha, Mimotenu, may the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Yishaberach, let us all have our spirits the world over renewed, my friends. Remember, you're dedicating sacred time in your sacred space. Something we're going to find out a lot more about today. And if even it's only for a few minutes, hey, if that's all you can do, that's fantastic. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention, your goodwill to honor your time, to regenerate it, to honor whatever you believe in. As you do when you invoke light to see better, food and drink to sustain life, take those few moments to share gratitude with the infinite intelligence that brought us here. Well, friends, as I said, this week we learn a little bit more about sacred time as we read emor, say. Say you, say me. Say it for always. That's the way it should be. Say you, say me. Say it together, naturally. You know, there is something natural about us coming together that we just seem to fight for whatever reason. Now, this week we're continuing in this interesting section known as the Holiness Code, which is clearly marked as the spot we saw last week where ethics takes over. And like I said, it's very unusual to see ethics take over in a code of law. Now, believe it or not, there's so much just in this little section that if you wanted to learn the basics of priesthood, this, my friends, is the Cliff's Notes priestly manual. It's just that not too many of today's generation has read this memo. You know, how do you know? Because it practically starts with, no tattoo shall you make on yourself. Well, these days, I don't see too many people without a tattoo. Well, observe that. The Ten Commandments do the following. And should a sojourner sojourn with you, you shall not wrong him. Like the native among you, you shall be the sojourner who sojourns with you, and you shall love him like yourself, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. Love your neighbor like yourself. The single sentence summary of the Torah. And we are told the order of love, my friends. Love yourself. Love your neighbor. Love the alien. Love God. Now, with all this love and inclusivity, why this week are there more restrictions and distinctions? Leviticus 21:16. No man of your seed to their generations in whom there is a defect shall come forward to offer his God's bread. Now, there's major restrictions on service to God in the priesthood or service to the priesthood. Whatever has a defect shall not bring forward. No man in whom there is a defect shall come forward. No blind, nor lame, nor disfigured, nor malformed, nor a man who has a broken leg or a broken arm, nor a hunchback, nor a midget, nor one who has a cataract in his eye, nor scab, nor skin flake, nor crushed testicle. Well, the underlying notion, however objectionable to modern sensibilities, is one shared by many ancient religions. Just as the animal offered in sacrifice must be unblemished, the officiant offering the sacrifice must be without physical blemish. Now, in addition, the priest has to marry a virgin to ensure the purity of the priestly line. Now, so for those of you who qualify, well, you have to know certain things. First and foremost, the fixed times, the appointed times of the festivals. This is not discretionary. We're about to have a calendar of holy days presented. This is the breakdown of sacred time, of all sacred time. Leviticus 23:1. These are the fixed times of the Lord, which you shall call sacred convocations. These are my fixed times. 6 days shall tasks be done, and on the seventh day an absolute Sabbath, a sacred convocation. No task shall you do. It is a Sabbath for the Lord in all your dwelling places. Well, there's the Sabbath. And the first month, on the 14th of the month, between the two evenings, is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of this month is God's festival of unleavened bread. You shall eat unleavened bread 7 days. Well, there's Passover. When you will come to the land that I am giving you, and you reap its harvest, you shall bring the first sheaf of your harvest to the priest, and you shall count from the day after the Sabbath, from the day of your bringing the sheaf for an elevation offering, 7 Sabbaths. They shall be complete, meaning 7 full weeks. Shavuot. You shall count until the day after the 7th Sabbath, 50 days. And you shall bring forward a new grain offering to the Lord. Then Leviticus 23:24. Speak to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, on the 1st of the month, you shall have a ceasing, a commemoration with horn blasting, a holy assembly. Well, let's see. In the 7th month, on the 1st of the month, well, this holiday is not named, but coming 9 days before Yom Kippur and involving the blasting of a horn, it is clearly the holiday that's now known as the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah. It is not known by this name in the Torah because, as this verse indicates, it came in the 7th month of the calendar. On the 10th of this 7th month, it is the Day of Atonement. You shall have a holy assembly, and you shall degrade yourselves, and you shall bring forward an offering by fire to the Lord. Speak to the children of Israel, saying, on the 15th day of the 7th month is the festival of booths, 7 days for the Lord. On the first day you shall take fruit of an appealing tree, branches of palms, boughs of thick trees and willows of a wadi, and you shall be happy in front of he who causes to be your God 7 days. So your generation will know that I had the children of Israel live in booths when I brought them out from the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Well, here you have Sukkot. Well, let's see how simple it is. It's a schedule of celebrations, my friend, and it's really laid out so nicely for you. So what happened? Well, there's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. Okay, well, why can't we all have a good time? It's laid out so simply for us. How hard is this? God tells Moses to tell the people what the nation's holidays are going to be, specifically the Sabbath, the holiday of unleavened bread, an unnamed holiday related to first fruits, an unnamed holiday involving horn blowing, known subsequently in Judaism but not biblically as the New Year, the Day of Atonement, and the holiday of booths, Sukkot. In each case, the text gives information on how to celebrate the holiday. In all but one case, it gives the date on which the holiday is to be celebrated, and notice it does not make any historical associations for the holidays, not even connecting the Feast of Unleavened Bread to the Exodus from Egypt, or the Sabbath to God's rest at the end of creation. The single exception is an instruction that the Israelites should live in booths during the Feast of Sukkot in order to remember that God and Israel live in booths when he brought them out of Egypt. Now, not everybody believes in God. I get it. So whatever name you ascribe to whatever you believe, whether God, Great Spirit, infinite intelligence, hey, they're all the same. And do you really think anything considered infinite intelligence would be dumb enough not to make things simple for us? Now, we may very well be the dunces of the universe. And so far, there's not a lot to suggest otherwise. So this infinite intelligence made it easy for us to understand if we open our eyes, and also made sure that you could read 1 or 2 small sections in this vast body of spiritual work and get the rules of life. Exodus 21, the Decalogue, the 10 sentences on how to treat life, and this one in Leviticus 23, to know the fixed schedule of holy days. Now, those 2 things alone are enough to allow you to spend some sacred time in your own sacred space, honoring your own belief during the course of the year. And just to make sure that we don't think things are too simple, we end this parsha on this really strange story of a sinning man and a woman. We're even given their names and their cultural affiliations, all further evidence that actually in biblical times, a person's identification was based on the father, which of course is patrilineal descent. Now, patrilineal descent actually continues throughout the Tanakh until the time of Ezra and Nehemiah. At that point, it appears to change, because when Nehemiah opposes marriages of Jewish men to women from certain other groups, he instructs that their children be excluded. And of course, in post-biblical Judaism, identification simply came to be based on the mother, which is matrilineal descent. In the Torah, however, it follows the father in every case, and this has caused more than one argument in today's denominational breakdown. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it, my friends. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace, freedom, for everybody. An end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do. Learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. So open your hearts and honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. Because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light. A week of peace. A week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect. Everything's linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what is good and bad, so acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and then ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you, as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. Because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself? Can you accept other people? Can you accept the world just as they are on any given day? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance can bring you. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land, your home. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always there in front of you. And remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle. Just as I have faith in the principle of love and of all of you, please act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. And work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and the ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform lives around you, because you're never alone, my friends. You are forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous. Bless others and bless yourself. Love with the heart. We're all part of the greater whole. Be there for somebody, because somebody's always going to be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and your level of faith and belief. And do not accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. We help each other. We are, each of us, trying to find love and acceptance and support. And it is there if you do learn to love your neighbor as you learn to love yourself. I've been thinking the way people do about the things that matter to me and you. I've decided to do what I can, and to find the kind of man I really am. I can see the world from here, and it sometimes makes me want to disappear back to nature, where we belong. And with just one truth I found, you can't go wrong. Wherever you are, Whatever you do, whatever you say it with love. Say it with love, my friends. Be happy, be healthy, be helpful, be kind, and be loving. And print your will on the blank canvas of life and keep celebrating being free to be you. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. We'll see you next week. Bye.